Let's get real for a second. Life recently has been trash. I'm literally stuck in a 9 to 5 job that I don't like, and I've been feeling quite disconnected with my dreams lately. But long story short, I love music with my heart, and I love creating things, having ideas, thinking about concepts. So my dream job is becoming a creative A&R. What is that? You may even ask. This is the person in the room that's managing the whole project of an artist. The visuals, the colors, behind your favorite singer, behind your favorite band. The whole thing, creatively, emotionally, and strategically, in order for the final product to come to your ears, to your Spotify. And if you know me, well, you don't know me, but you will soon. That job was made for me. What is the problem then? I have not enough experience, not enough knowledge, and most important, zero credibility in the music industry. No labels are interested in me. But you know what I do have? Ambition, attitude, and I feel like I have the talent for it. So I made a plan. The plan to get me noticed by the music industry. And this is what this video is for. Let me welcome you to the very first episode of a 12-month series where I'm gonna be bringing you along with me in my creative process. Like, the big objective is that at the end of this series, I know more about the music industry, I'm a desirable candidate, and I'm able to land a job that will help me escalate the big ladder of being a creative A&R. One goal: make the music industry notice me. Before we start, let me tell you a little bit about a book that I just read, Mastery by Robert Greene. This book is basically about how creative people become creative people, because we tend to believe that being creative is something genetic. It's about money, it's about pretty privilege. Well, that's not the truth. Creative people are creative because A, they have a dream, a task, a calling, like a real spark inside of them. They study, they are really disciplined with their craft. They're really trying to understand and study the most that they can about the thing that they love. They are capable of seeing the world in a different way. So most of the plan that we're gonna be discussing today is based on the things that I learned reading this book. I decided to make this plan a 6-step plan. We're gonna be following these 6 steps in order to get to the place that I want to be in a year. This is my Notion. It's literally the headquarters of this dream. What is going to make all of this possible? We have the main part of this board, which is my day-to-day task. Right now it is empty, but basically here I'm gonna be putting all the things that I have to do day by day. So there's all the days of the week. Then we have a little schedule. This is gonna help me kind of have a big perspective of the things that I have to do every week. Then we have my little reminders. These are some quotes that will keep me motivated, that will keep me going. And then we have a little section where I kind of wrote down why I feel that I am meant to be a creative A&R. Okay, so let's start with the very first step in this plan, the creativity step. This step is all about reigniting my creative spark. This section right here is divided in 3 parts. First, on the left, we have my album journal. So to become a creative A&R, I really need to listen to music. And it's not only about listening to the music that I love. I need to listen to the music that has changed history. So I did this beautiful list of the albums that really have shaped the last decades in the music industry. I'm going to be listening to an entire album per day for the following 12 months. So once I've picked my album, what I have to do is kind of rank that album. I'm gonna go back to my table that I did, which have the name of the album, the artist, the genre, the year, the number of tracks, a blank column where I'm gonna fill all the songs that I like, and then this is gonna kind of calculate the number of stars. So for example, here we have 6 tracks. Let's say I just liked 1 track, then the album is gonna get 1 star. And finally we have my favorite track from the album. So that's what I'm gonna be doing from each album that I listen to every single day. The next thing that I'm gonna be doing is that I'm actually gonna be picking the most captivating 3 albums from every single week. And then I'm gonna take those 3 albums, analyze the concept, the production, the visual identity. So after I analyze my album, I'm gonna be making the perfect track list from each album. What is the track list that I consider should have been the real track list? And finally, I'm gonna propose brand ideas for the album. And I'm going to think, how could that album become its own era in terms of visuals, in terms of branding, in terms of promo ideas, story ideas, all these kind of things. Now we're gonna go to the second phase, the eat artist. So what is this? I'm gonna become a creative A&R. So basically what I'm gonna be doing is that I'm gonna be behind an artist. So I need to know how to do that, how to find a good artist and how to craft and develop that artist in the best way possible. I'm gonna be picking one indie or emerging artist per week. Like, it can literally be from one of the albums that I listen to that week. And then I'm gonna analyze or suggest first their identity, their community, their strategy, and all the deals that came off my artists. Let's move forward to the final phase in this first step, which is on my playlist curator era. I'm going to be doing 2 random playlists every week. Like random playlists with prompts like songs to cry when you fall in love with your best friend. I need to be capable of building moods, building vibes. According to Green, being motivated about something, it's not enough. You need to have apprenticeship, master your craft. But the very first thing that we have here in the apprenticeship step is Full Sail. Because I was feeling so lost with my dream of becoming a creative A&R, I was aware that the very first thing that I needed to do was understanding the business. You need to know about distribution, you need about production, you need about publishing, law, how to make a financial model, about marketing, about branding, about storytelling. You really need to master your craft. And that's exactly what I decided to enroll on the entertainment business program at Full Sail. So this little section here is actually going to be about all my time in Full Sail. So getting great in your field is not only about the things that you can get from university or from school or from a mentor. It's about what you are capable of researching by yourself. So that's where the second phase comes into place. This is what I decided to call I am a genius. So basically what I'm gonna be doing here is that I'm gonna be reading 1 book a month about the music industry and listening to 1 podcast a week about the music industry. So because I am trying to start today, I kind make a list of podcasts, YouTube channels, books to start learning A&R. And we also have my bookshelf. The first book, of course, in this bookshelf is Mastery by Robert Greene. It's like the first book that I am reading in order to pursue this dream. And then we have this section right here, which is about magazines and articles. There's a lot of columns and profiles that I feel can also help me to get a better perspective of what is the music industry nowadays. So the final phase in this apprenticeship step is muses and wonders and inspiration. So basically, the last thing that Robert Greene says about the apprenticeship phase is that if you want to be a creative, you need to learn not only things from your field, but things outside your field, because your brain, newsflash, is built to connect things. This specific template right here is going to be about me trying to get inspiration from other sources different than the music industry. I'm gonna be picking up 1 movie per week, and I'm going to try to make a playlist that goes perfectly with that movie. For a creative A&R, you really need to have a visual idea of what you want your artist to show to the world. Like right now I'm gonna start with movies, but the idea is to gain inspiration from other sources as well, like books, series. Steps number 1 and number 2 are things that I'm gonna start as soon as I end recording this video. However, the next steps are meant to be started on month 3. Step 3 is what I called connectivity. There is a lot of recommendations from Green about the benefits of networking in any kind of activity. I need to start knocking on some doors. I need to start shaking some hands. I need to start meeting some people that can get me there. So this is what this step is about, connecting with people. We start with this section right here called an INFP networking. This is basically because I am an INFP. I am actually introvert, like really introvert. So networking is not my biggest asset, but we need to make it work. And we are going to make it work. The idea here is to start building a contact base of important people and important labels in the industry that I could approach to once I have my skill set, my portfolio, and the rest settled, then I'm going to be capable of being noticed by them. For this part, I have to research at least one person from the industry per week, like that's the goal. Get their contact info, and ultimately have to research 3 small labels, get the contact info, and research the artist behind these labels. I kind of studied this a little bit, so we have here like my dream companies, like the places that I would really like to work in. We have, of course, Hive, which is one of my favorite entertainment companies in the world. They're like the monsters of K-pop. And the big thing about Hive is that they are kind of approaching the international market right now. There's a lot of subdivisions of Hive around the world. There is Hive America, there is Hive Latin America right now. That motivates me even more to get to know people inside this company. Then we have Universal Music Group. I love this company specifically because this is Taylor Swift's, my favorite artist, label. So it would be a dream to work in this label. We have other labels like Sony Music, for example. And then we have Big Hit Music, which is the label behind BTS. This section right here of local companies is kind of the places that I feel are more plausible and possible for me to connect with them. So the first one is Sarpaz Entertainment. This is actually a company that is under Hive Latin America. So there's a lot of cool projects under this label. It's an independent label. They just started like this year. So I feel like there's a lot of room for me to start knocking doors on this specific company. Then we have some mentors that I feel like this is the people that I dream of becoming. We have Santiago Duque, we have Monica Jordan, we have Daniel Mora. Like this is like a column dedicated to my idols in the business right now. And finally, because I already told you that I'm actually studying and making my master program in Full Sail, I feel like the first way to start connecting with people is actually using the platforms that the university offers me, and one of those platforms is the student clubs. So here I kind of picked 3 clubs that I feel can really help me to get more knowledge, to connect better, like to get a lot of insights from the outside fields, to get me more inspired, more creative, and to have a bigger networking system. So the first one is Brand Builders. This is so important for me because as an A&R, joining this club, I feel like I can get to know people that can really contribute a lot in my vision of marketing and branding. And then we have 2 clubs, which are the Korean Culture Club and the Latin Club. My ideas are often based by the K-pop music industry system. So getting in touch with people from the Korean culture specifically, I feel like can really have a big impact in how I see the industry. And finally, I have the Latin Club. I'm Latin America, I'm from Colombia, so because this is the country where I'm gonna be working, so I really need to get in touch with these people. I really need to start surrounding myself from important people in the Latin music business. I already joined those clubs, so I'm gonna be talking about this in the next episodes of this series. Which brings me to the second phase in this third step, which is the job. This one is meant to be on month 6 at least. It is basically a result and an outcome of the whole connecting task. I'm going to be looking for available positions on the labels that I research. So here I'm not only going to be looking for specific positions, but I'm also going to be creating my CV in order to be prepared for available options of the market. If you remember well, the main purpose of this plan is to get noticed by the music industry. So this step here is kind of one of the most important ones in the whole plan. This is basically building my portfolio, like having something that will gain me credibility in the music industry. We have here three phases: the TikTok phase, the LinkedIn phase, and the Instagram phase. All those three things are basically the same, but different social media, like the outcome is the same: building a portfolio in these specific platforms. For TikTok, for example, I'm gonna be taking all these study cases that I made in the step 1 and the step 2, and I'm gonna be posting TikToks, like showing all my job, all my work, and all the things that I've been working on to this point on a visual way. Then we have Instagram. Here we're gonna be creating an Instagram account that will serve like as my external portfolio, and I'm gonna be posting the making of, the creative process behind my work with artists, something really aesthetic of the things that I worked on in the step 1 and the step 2. TikTok and Instagram are not only gonna be helpful for me as my portfolio, but they will also help me to understand what is happening and what is going on in the industry. And finally, we have LinkedIn here, which is basically a tool that I'm going to use to connect with people from the industry. Another one of Green's ideas is to put my ideas in the world. Like, I need to prototype, I need to sketch, I need to get things out of my mind. And this is exactly what we will be doing in step number 5. We'll be taking all the things that I already built in step number 1, number 2, number 3, and number 4, and we're gonna make them real. I'm going to be acting like an independent A&R. There are 2 phases in this 5th step. The first one is called Boy Scout, and basically what I'm gonna be doing here is that I'm gonna scout for talent. One of the main tasks of a creative A&R is to scout for talent. Who's out there interesting enough to become a star? I'm gonna scout for talent on TikTok and SoundCloud, on YouTube or Instagram, in any platform that I can, and I'm gonna find independent artists. I'm gonna pick one independent artist, and for a month and a half, I will elaborate a brand identity proposal for this independent artist. Create a portfolio with all the ideas that I see and envision for this artist. Which brings me to phase number 2, that is called the Project Zero. Contact at least one of the artists that I scouted and offer to work with them. And I will use this little pitch here to start working on my first real client, like anything related to them. This specific step is the one that is gonna make me have experience in the industry and have something that I can show to the labels and to the people in the industry to say, hey, I can work in your industry. I can enter here and I can get this job. This is gonna be like my first job kind of experience. We've arrived to the final step in this long 12-month plan, which is what I decided to call the testimony step. Here, I'm gonna be recording and documenting everything from my experience these 12 months. Then I'm gonna upload here 1 video per month, each one showing my monthly progress at Full Sail, outside Full Sail. And when I'm done, I will have a film of my entire experience, the creative road that I dream about. Like Green said, look farther and think farther ahead. So this is episode number 1. The plan is set. This was the first month. See you on episode 2.